how to deal with problems. Hey everyone, Jose Villablanca here, the founder and CEO of HoliFit, an employee engagement company. I've been a personal trainer since 2007, and I want to talk to you about how to deal with problems. This could be problems at work, it could be problems with your fitness goals, your nutrition plan, your recovery plan as well. Any problem really in life. If you've ever thought of problems as something that would give you anxiety or stress, then this is the video for you because it's all about changing your mindset. So here's the thing. If problems equals stress and stress actually equals growth, like you lift weights, you get stronger because of the stress that you put the weights or your muscles under with the weights, with progressive overload, more and more weights in other words, then problem equals growth. So you have to obviously go through the problem, find the solution to the problem, and then you grow from that problem. So don't think of problem as a bad thing. In fact, think of problem as that necessary ingredient for you to gain more experience, build character, get stronger. Weights don't get easier, you get stronger. Running doesn't get easier, you get stronger, which means you can run farther, you can swim farther, you can bike farther, whatever sport you may choose. Think about problems like this. If you didn't have any problems when you play basketball, for example, it's easy game, right? You never lose. You wouldn't grow as a player. Same thing with work. If you never have problems at work, you won't grow. But if you're not looking for promotion, then don't worry about it. But this video is for you to understand how you can grow from problems and just how to change your mindset so that you think of problems instead of something that you want to avoid, you want to go through it. In fact, one book that really helped me during the pandemic was The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And this book here taught me a lot about stoic philosophies. And that helped me a lot because in the pandemic, things were dead. Business was pretty much halted because it was only essential work, right? Everyone's working from home. We didn't have personal training clients or group classes that we were offering as our core offering or service. So I had a lot of thinking to do, a lot of introspective problem solving to do. And Stoicism really helped me through it. So a really great book is The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. So now I'm going to share a few tips on how to reframe or change your mindset when it comes to thinking about problems. I want you to remember this. So I got this from an audiobook or probably read it somewhere. We live in the most peaceful times in history. We no longer participate in Western sundown shootouts. How often do you see someone actually getting gunned down? During those shootouts, like, oh, we have a problem here. Oh, I disagree with you. All right, I'll see you sundown shootout. Right? Just because of a problem or a difference in opinion, right? Thank God we don't do that anymore. Hopefully across the world, but I don't see it anymore. But I would remember watching these Westerns, these old Westerns, right? It's pretty crazy, right? You don't have to kill or be killed just for a difference in opinions, right? Those are real problems back in the day. Now, problems, hopefully we all have food and shelter, right? So our problems are really not that big. It could be, we didn't get the promotion or, can't lose that belly fat or, we're still commuting to work. We don't have a nice car, whatever it may be. These aren't real problems if you think about it. So be grateful, first of all, for that. In fact, the first Treasury Secretary of the United States of America, Alexander Hamilton, that's actually how he died. Crazy, right? Looking at problems from a more constructive and positive perspective can transform challenges into opportunities for growth, gratitude, or learning. Here are some better ways to reframe common complaints or problems. Here's a work-related problem. Oh, it's Monday again. Let's reframe that. Mondays are a fresh start, a chance to set the tone for the week and tackle my goals. I hear that a lot. So you can either look at the glass half empty or half full, right? So yes, maybe you don't feel like working, but sometimes we have to do what we don't feel, right? In order to get what we want or move forward, builds character, right? Builds discipline. Another complaint is, I hate my job. So and let's reframe that. This job is teaching me resilience and discipline, and it's a stepping stone towards better opportunities. Yes, sometimes work can be boring, even for me. Like, I run my own business, I should love it. Um, but there are days that I don't feel like working. But I always try to remind myself, this will build character. It's a stepping stone towards better opportunities. Another for health and fitness is I'm so tired all the time. Let's reframe that. My body is asking me to prioritize rest and make healthier choices. I'll take small steps to feel better. So yeah, I do feel tired sometimes. I question myself if I get enough rest, um, or am I just really being lazy? Am I eating right, or do I want to skip a workout because I'm eating like shit, like garbage, right? So, well, obviously, help having a journal, a workout journal, a rest journal, right? Understanding how many hours you get a night per sleep, using a smartwatch or those other ways of tracking your sleep makes a big difference. It will tell you if you're being lazy or not. Those kind of things would definitely help figure things out to see if you're being lazy or if you're looking at the glass half empty. Another complaint is I can't lose weight no matter what I do. Let's reframe that. Every small, healthy choice I make is progress, and I'm learning more about what works for my body. That's the thing, guys. I have a lot of clients where they would say things like that, you know, they're not seeing progress. But I wanted you to think of it this way. Yes, you're not seeing the progress that you want now, but if you learn from your mistakes and see what's slowing you down and why you're not seeing progress, then you're learning from it. And learning is progress. Sometimes you either win, sometimes you learn. So if you're not seeing progress and you're tracking everything, then you're learning what's not working. And that to me is progress. Kind of sounds cheesy, but it's true. All right, third, let's go into relationships. No one understands me. Let's reframe that. It's an opportunity to communicate my feelings better or seek out people who align with my values. For me, it's the first thing here. It's an opportunity to communicate my feelings better. So feelings or ideas, right? Logical. I'm more logical. I always, when people don't understand me, I always try to think, okay, how can I communicate better? I'm not always trying to find people who align with my values. I try to see how, I can communicate better because I like hanging out with people who don't share the same values or ideas with me because I always learn something from other people. And if we still don't meet eye to eye, we can respectfully disagree. Another complaint is I'm always arguing with my partner. Sounds familiar. Disagreement here, let's reframe that. Disagreements mean we're engaged, and this is a chance to grow closer by understanding each other better, which is true. This could be my partner at work or my life partner, whatever it may be. You're not supposed to meet eye to eye in every single thing, right? That's when you get to know each other more. So that's why sometimes I like to hire really slow, or get to know a person more before I put them into the circle of my friends. Uh, and yeah, disagreements is normal, right? Disagreements, they should be common, right? And this is a chance to stay engaged, learn from each other. And again, if you don't agree, then you can respectfully disagree. All right. Another complaint that I hear a lot of are financial struggles. I'll never have enough money. Let's reframe that. I'm learning to budget and prioritize, and I have the ability to improve my financial situation over time. Yeah, I don't want to look at it half empty again. I want to see where I can make improvements. I want to see how to budget better. Sometimes I would splurge, but I always learn from it. Why am I doing this? Why am I spending so much? Is it some sort of insecurity? Is this a necessity? And I always have this frame. I always pre-frame things wherein you're not going to get it right the first time, right? So we learn through life, right? We weren't born knowing, the playbook of life. And I want you to remember that because when I realized that, it really helped me a lot. Another complaint is life is so expensive. My taste actually is really expensive. And I know this for a fact. So let's reframe that. I'm fortunate to have access to resources and opportunities to manage these expenses. Which is true. I'm fortunate that I have access to resources. So one way I like to see it is instead of complaining about, I have this iPad to pay for, right? Because I need it for work. I like to say, I'm grateful I can pay for this iPad. Or, I got to pay for my gas bill or my electricity bill. All right. I'm grateful I can drive a car, or I'm grateful that I can pay for my electricity bill, instead of focusing, bills, bills, bills. No, say, at least I can pay for it. So I'm grateful I can pay for it. All right. The next thing we have here is time and productivity. So complaint is, I never have enough time. Story of my life. Let's reframe that. I can focus on what truly matters and use my time more intentionally. This day and age, man, we have everything at the tips of our fingers. iPad, laptop, internet, cell phone, everything, right? Download all these like Netflix series or whatever. You'll never run out of things to watch. YouTube, gaming, so many streaming services, right? We will never have enough time, which is true. So again, use these challenges to make you grow, to avoid distractions, right? Because again, who said life would be easy? Who said life would be full of, not full of, who said life would have no distractions, right? And that's what makes us amazing, because we learn from it and it makes life more fun that way. All right. My iPad locked up. Give me a moment here. See, even recording this video is hard for me, but I always try to remember, you know what? Only gets easier the more I try. And it's still locked. There, finally. Unlocked. Didn't even use my fingerprint. Didn't work. Okay. Another complaint is I procrastinate too much. Oof, so true. Like this video here, I've been procrastinating. I've been telling myself I'll shoot a video every week. And then a week goes by and another week goes by. So now I'm trying to batch shooting all these videos, which makes it easier. In fact, probably took me an hour to set this up. The lights, the audio, it's quiet, the background, preparing my notes. Ooh, it's hard being productive. Let's reframe that. I'm learning what motivates me and finding better ways to manage tasks. I like using motivation to get things done, but I also like using discipline to get things done. So if you ever feel like you procrastinate, one, you have to have discipline to do it. Two, you have to figure out what motivates you. Three, you have to build a habit, because then the habit becomes automatic. Four, schedule everything. What gets scheduled gets done. And if it's in your calendar, yes, I use a calendar. People make fun of me even when it's like personal stuff. I put them in calendar. But I think that's how serious you are when you schedule everything. Because again, what gets scheduled gets done. If it doesn't get done, at least you tried scheduling it, right? All right, the next is personal growth. Complaint, I keep failing at this. Just like this. It's kind of awkward. I'm rushing through things. I have so many thoughts in my head while at the same time trying to read this. And I lost. Okay, my notes. Here it is. Okay, see? I keep failing at this. Let's reframe that. Every failure is a lesson that brings me closer to success. Just true. You either win or you learn. Business, I've won a bunch of times and I've learned a lot of times. Before HoliFit, I failed so many times. In fact, earlier today, a guy asked me, so how many years did it take you before you decided to start your own business and quit personal training? And it was funny because I actually thought of something new when I answered him. And it was, actually, I was trying maybe after a year of being a personal trainer, I was like, okay, this is fun. Maybe I want to go my own. So really, I never stopped trying to do something new, trying to learn something new. And the only time I could actually do this full time was when I had enough clients, when I learned from my mistakes, and when I realized that this could support me full time. So it never really stopped with my personal and professional goals. Sidelining this, and now thank God this is my full-time job, my career, and I hope this continues to grow. So please like this video, please share this video, please give me feedback. I'd love to hear from you because I'm here to help motivate you. Before as a personal trainer, now hopefully as a motivational speaker. Hopefully you can support me and hopefully I resonate with you. I can't resonate with everyone, but definitely there's some people that would resonate with me, that can understand what I'm going through, what I've been through, and hopefully I can coach you through that. All right. Next complaint is I'm not good at anything. That's not true. Don't believe that. And I learned something recently where we always look at the negative, right? And we forget about the positive. So in other words, I think it's called loss aversion. It's it hurts more to lose $100 than it feels good to win $100. So we have a negative bias. We think about things that we said that was awkward, touch a toe curler. Oh, why did I say that? I do that a lot because I don't have a filter sometimes. Or we think about a failure so many times, but we forget about our successes because once we succeed, all right, automatic, as I should, and then you move on to the next, but you forget to celebrate small wins. So always reframe that you're learning, you're growing, and we have unique strengths that we have to eventually discover. The next is daily life frustration. And I complain about this, especially coming from Canada. Traffic is the worst, especially here in Manila. It's really bad. Let's reframe that. This is a chance to listen to a podcast, audiobook, or music I enjoy, which is true. I would consume a lot of audiobooks or podcasts. Sometimes I'd play it twice the speed, so I learn faster and save more time. So that helps while being stuck in traffic. You know, you're learning. The car is your library, and I've been consuming so many audiobooks, which is part of this is what I'm sharing to you right now. And then sometimes I just consume so much. You can only eat so much, you can only digest so much content that eventually I started listening to music just to, in a way, meditate or forget or process all the thoughts or the things that I've done the day before or the same day really before I get to my next client meeting or whatever it may be. The weather is awful today. Oh, it's so bad here in the Philippines. It's so humid. It's so hot. We only have two seasons here. It's hot and cold, or sorry, wet and dry season. So summer and then, rainy for the next 6 months, I guess. As opposed to Canada, like 4 seasons, so good. You get to layer up in the colder months. You're not always sweating. Here it's so humid. Sweat a lot. Even if it's not that hot, it's just so humid that you can't stop sweating. Oh, okay. I should stop myself. Keep complaining. All right. Let's reframe that. Rain or snow helps the earth, and I can use this time to relax indoors or dress appropriately and enjoy it. Next would be broader life concerns. Life isn't fair. Let's reframe that. Life may not always feel fair, but I can control how I respond to challenges and focus on what I can influence, which is true. Who said life would be fair? Right? There will be hard times. Why wasn't I born to, a really rich dynasty? Why am I, only 6 feet tall? I should be like 6'5" with 220 pounds of muscle. Stop crying over spilled milk. You're born this way. Let's look at your strengths. Let's look at your uniqueness. Right? Another complaint is, oh, my iPad moved again. See? Why is this happening to me? Let's refrain. We say, Lord, but we always say that. Why me? Why God? Why me? Let's reframe that, which is normal, by the way. Everyone says that. This situation is tough, but it's helping me grow stronger and more resilient. And another thing I like to add to that is it happens to everyone. Why you? It's not just you, buddy. It's everyone. We go through hardship, but that hardship makes us grow. All right. So again, guys, hopefully that has helped. That's pretty much just a simple high level stuff. So here's some general tips for reframing problems. You want to focus on gratitude, right? Instead of focusing on what's going wrong or what you don't have or what you want to attain, focus on what you have by being grateful. So gratitude lists would really help. Things that we take for granted because we already have them and we're always focusing on the future that we want to attain. Gratefulness really helps. Look for the lesson. There's always a lesson in your hardship. Again, you can either win or you can learn. Focus on what you can control. Forget about what you can't control. All right. Just work on what you can control and just forget about what you can't control because what's the point of doing that? Right. So I like to have a list of things within my control, things without my control, or with outside of my control. And then I would burn that list that's outside my control and then work on the list that's in my control. And burning just symbolizes that, okay, you're done, out of my mind. You know, when you write it down, it's out of your mind, it's into paper, and then you burn it, it's gone, disintegrate, right? Adopt a long-term perspective. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? So yeah, I try to think of it that way. Like, think about problems I had a year ago, 2 years ago, really big problems I thought would be a game changer in a bad way. And I realized, yeah, I'm still alive now today. So will it matter a year from now? Last would be practice self-compassion. So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, sometimes I'm just so hard on myself. But you have to remind yourself that it's okay. And even with a grateful or gratitude list, that would really help as well. So you would have more self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness during tough times. An example would be, it's okay to feel frustrated, but I'm doing my best. And just by saying that, or by hearing that right now, doesn't it feel much better? So hopefully you learned a lot about how to reframe problems. This is a mindset shift that I want to teach you, that I've been teaching my clients since 2007. Yes, it started with fitness, but it has evolved to my work as well with my team and hopefully with someone like you. Thanks for watching this video. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or any other topics you'd like me to tackle, let me know. Bye for now.